Has Wizards of the Coast just found out how to crack the code on Magic players to make us pay more money? Innistrad remaster collector boxes may be the inroad into something entirely different in the years to come. And in today's video, we're going to discuss what's happening with these remastered products, the sales, the volumes, and that collectability. Stay tuned, we have a lot to go over in today's video. So you want to feel special. You want to feel unique. You want to feel that you made the right play and what you're going after, it's worth a lot of money, right? That's exactly how they want us to feel. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out with me on my channel today. You know, back in the 90s when we first started playing Magic the Gathering, it was a card game you played at a counter. There was no sleeves, there's no extra product stuff to attach to the game. You just played the game with the little rule book we got. But the game has evolved a lot since then. Magic's had its highs and lows, its ins, its outs. It's had players come and players go. It's had massive crashes and major highs. And Wizards of the Coast continues to evolve the game into something entirely different. And they learned a lot over the COVID era of overprinting, of dumping things on Amazon, on just having too much of a good thing. Now they've trimmed back the branches, pruned a little bit, got rid of some dead weight, and we now have 2025. We're in for a very unique year. The way collector boxes have been presented to us in the past as something special and unique, starting with Throne of Eldraine. That was the experimental phase. They've gone through changes. We got serialized cards now. We got different art frameworks. Remember, you used to send your stuff off to an artist somewhere out there in the world, and some people still do, to do unique altered Magic cards? Where do you think Wizards of the Coast got the idea? They knew players liked it, and they brought it into the game. Now they've gotten to the point where players truly desire these new artwork and framework cards, which brings us now to our current conversation today and what's going on in the world of Magic. Remastered products are just a reissue product. I've done videos on this in the past. But that doesn't matter if I feel it's a reissued product. The nostalgic factor of these products, the new artwork that comes to bear on classic and powerful cards, has players interested in getting more. They want to get involved, they want to get the reissued cards, and they want to play with them. Actually, in a way, Wizards of the Coast now avoids power creep by re-representing the same cards with new artwork. But also, they trim back the print runs. They are not printing as much of the product, yet the prices are actually trending upward on many of these cards. And when you look at how they're presenting them, and how we see now collector boxes like Lord of the Rings at that $1,000 level, maybe even going higher in the years to come, and things like Fallout, Universes Beyond, we now have a way, a door, a crack in the armor of what players are willing to pay. It may not have worked with 30th anniversary, but it may work with modern era Magic if they do it in a gentle but firm way. If we look at Dominaria Remastered, those collector boxes here in Canada are $349. If you're in the US, just knock off 45% roughly, and that's what you would pay in US dollars. If we were going for boxes right now of Ravnica Remastered, it'd actually be pretty hard to find. A lot of stores under-ordered, and there wasn't as much printed because they didn't expect it to be a big thing. Even though it had, the Shocklands and stuff, it just didn't have a lot of value. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have collectability for players who like to flex, show off, and say, look what I got. Now we get Innistrad Remastered. There's not that much out there, is there? A lot of players already picked up their stuff. Lots of stores are sold out or got very little to begin with and are sold out. Some had their allocations cut from what I understand from a lot of the stores I talked to. They ordered cases, they were told they were getting it, but it didn't show up. So where does that leave us now? Well, players want to get these cards. They want to get these boxes. I know lots of people who like to just keep them on a shelf. They have one of every single one because we like to collect things. It's in human nature. But now that you see the money that passes through, do you honestly tell yourself that Wizards of the Coast hasn't noticed this? That they're not going to try to find a way to push the button and get that cash for themselves? They know exactly what they're doing, and they are witnessing what you're doing. You as a player might be coming out ahead right now if you bought a Lord of the Rings box for like, $400 or something, and you sell it for $1,000, you doubled your money. Kudos, good for you, right? You're being a very industrious person there in the secondary market. But Wizards of the Coast doesn't want you to do that. They don't want you to have extra money. They want you to spend the money on the game. They want to capitalize on that. They see how much money is being lost and they want to get involved. They want to cheer you on, but not from the sidelines. They want to have a direct access to that wallet, and they've been trying everything they can over the last several years to get in there, to make sure it works for them. So what does this mean going forward? I'm not saying they're going to jack up prices. They realize there's kind of a ceiling. But there are lots of ways of trimming and repositioning, like we're seeing with the Aether Drift boxes going down to 30 packs. There's nothing stating, especially after Double Masters 2022, that they can't say instead of 12 booster packs, there's only going to be 8. 6, 4. Go right down back to 2022. We're going down to 4. There will be ways they can trim, add shrinkflation while maintaining prices and increasing the margins of these products. And as long as they trim how many they're actually putting out there for sale, there is going to be a very tight-knit crowd that fights over getting these things. Just like massive concert tickets to Taylor Swift, paying 10x, 20x the value. It happens in any industry where there's a collectability factor or that real desire of FOMO to be there at that event. I still remember lining up for Halo 2 and waiting 12 hours in line to get my Halo helmet and stuff and get all the cool gear that came along with a Halo 3. I don't know, it was one of those two. It was a big long line though. It was the Halo edition with the helmet. You guys can tell me in the comment section. I remember those moments of doing this myself. I remember lining up to get products like World Wake outside of my local store because you had to like get a ticket because it was a one print. You got one and you were done. That is something Wizards of the Coast wants to capture. They want to capture that enthusiasm for the game, that fear of missing out, by either raising the prices, cutting back with shrinkflation, or a combination of all three factors to make sure the desirability of the game stays high. The alternate artwork has been a big hit. I can't say it hasn't. I can see it. I've seen players desire the cards, look for them, and ooh and ah over them, and they love cracking those bad boys to trade them into their local LGS. It feels like a mini Willy Wonka's like lottery ticket. You're just like, hey, this card, this anime elves is worth like $150. You want to take this in, and I can like pick up X, Y, and Z, and that's exactly what happens. So when we think about collector boxes now, when you think about how well they're selling, and we've seen this really well. This isn't just the current stuff. Bloomburrow stuff sold very well. It was a big hit, okay? And if they keep trimming how many they allow to be print out there into the wild, and we know that as far as we know, collector boxes never get a reprint. It's kind of like the bundle packs. They don't get reprints. They're just too complicated to bother. Well, they look at the past sales of the last couple, and they get an average, and that's how they do it. So if they sell out faster and faster, yeah, they may increase the print run until they find the sweet spot, but they're still never going to be in abundance. Because I think Wizards of the Coast, like us, they learn from experience. They may be a little bit slower at it than some players, but they do learn, they do adapt, and they will try to capitalize. I can't wait to see how this plays out this year. I mean, with big sets like Final Fantasy coming out, Universes Beyond, man, think about all the things going on in Final Fantasy, all the different sub-creature types, and I'll do a video on that later when we get closer to it. You look at Dragonstorm Tarkir, we got Aether Drift, we got, all kinds of crazy Akira stuff going on, and then we've also got, of course, Marvel this year. There's going to be a lot going on, a lot of things to capture our attention. But when they capture your attention, you see these cool collector boxes, pay attention to the prices, pay attention to the contents inside those boxes. That's where things are going to be heading. That's where they're going to hit us when we're least expecting it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nothing's going to happen and everything is going to be just fine. Remember when people tell you that? It's just fine. Everything is fine. But really, you looked around the world lately, our money doesn't go as far as it used to. It's never just fine, which is why we have to fight for the best possible outcome. Guys, it's an amazing game. We love playing it. I can't wait to get in on this year's sets. It's going to be amazing. I'm stoked like I was for Bloomburrow, except for it's like several sets this year that have caught my interest enough to go, I wonder what's going to happen next. I like that feeling. I want to carry that feeling forward. But that doesn't mean I'm going to let my wallet get nuked in the process of going for some of these things. Thank goodness there's always the singles market, right? And somewhere in the backdraft of your mind, maybe you're thinking about the reserve list cards because those things are basement level. They're so cheap, they almost shouldn't be ignored. And I will cover a video on this of some sweet cards you should be looking at, but that'll be later on this week. So tune in for that one because it's gonna be big. We're gonna have like 10 cards that you guys just can't wait to get your hands on. Anyway, thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being here on the channel today. Pay attention to those collector boxes, guys. I think that's Wizards trying to expand their foothold into our wallets, and it looks like it is working in a very curious way. A lot of big sales going on. Guys, thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being here on the channel. Put some comments down in the comments section, of course, if you enjoyed hanging out today. Don't forget, you can like and subscribe to my channel. I'm here every single day putting out new content. Have a great one, guys. We'll see you soon. Whoa, 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 you guys are here. You've made it, guys. You were here at the end. You were watching the credits go by. You're looking at the cool Patreon things of all these people who support my channel. And you know what? We got room for a few more. I'll be honest, we got room for some patrons to come support the channel. Maybe you just want to spend $1 a month and have a chance to win some free reserve list stuff. Maybe you just want to get onto my private Discord. Either way, now's your chance. Check it out. What, 10 reserve list cards you should buy now? No. This is the Ramble Jamble. This is not that video yet. You are going to have to wait. You wait. Be patient. Patient. You'd be surprised which cards I'm picking too. There's some great deals going on. I just don't think people are always thinking about this stuff. But the good news is I am. So when you watch these ones, you kind of get like an inside track, kind of. At least a Hot Wheels track. Anyway. What I was thinking. Have a great one. Ramble Jamble. Ramble Jamble. No, honestly, we're back. Okay. So those collector boxes. 30th anniversary failed. 4 packs, $250 a pack, $1,000 box, right? Failed. Went too far. Look at a regular collector box, 12 packs. That's the base. The base is working. Now they've tried these premium ones, remastered products. They've done it several times now, right? They sell. Now, Dominaria Remastered, too many printed. But Ravnica, it's sold out in a lot of places. It's a high price point. And there's not that many really available. And anyone who buys it isn't really opening it now. They shelve it. Now, I'm not even going to get into the liquidity of this market because, as far as I'm concerned, it has a 50% liquidity rate, which means if you are a person who's going to sell it, you're going to get 50 cents on the dollar unless you sell directly to a player. You cannot include LGSs, stores, or distributors. You have to go player to player or you're never going to get your money back, okay? And I don't know about the future values of this thing doubling and stuff. I just don't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just because I can't see something right now and my spreadsheets aren't telling me anything, doesn't mean it's not going to be that way. But when I look at shrinkflation, like Double Masters 2022, the 4 packs and stuff like that, I can see them pulling that stuff off and doing that in the future. Shrinkflation, baby. Freaks me out a little bit, but I definitely see it happening. So something we're going to have to put tabs on and see if we can comment on this like a year or two from now. Anyway, thanks again for hanging out. Now we go ramble jamble. Ramble in the jam.